Nobody knew what I did for many, many years. I kept it quiet. I mean, you've got to declare, you ain't saying fucking nothing. We used to get bullied and racially bullied as kids. Because there was only us, the Irish and the West Indians.
So how many movies you've done in total now? Welcome back to another episode of Marvin Herbert's Nothing But the Truth. And like always, we like to introduce ourselves with an introduction to the whys and what we do this for. So basically, podcast world and sort of celebrity world we're gonna amalgamate and grow with. But me, I'm the type of character that come from a different place. A dark place that nobody ever wants to go to, nobody ever wants to come from. So because I made a lot of bad choices growing up as a kid, what I'd use my platform for is to show other individuals from similar environments that I'm from or was from, that making the right choices at the right time will create a beautiful life for you and create an opportunity for you to grow harmoniously, look after your family and be there every single day for your kids. So with no further ado, I'd like to welcome Tamer Hassan on.
Good to see you,
on, Tamer.
My absolute pleasure.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
It's nice to see you again.
Yeah, come on, it's just, you know what it is? I never thought I'd be here. Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day where I'd be on the telly with celebrities and being legitimate. Let alone being with celebrities, I never ever believed that I would be legitimate, working, paying taxes and a contributing member of society. I never believed it for a split second. Up until I was 42 years of age, you know. So because of the trauma, devastation and madness that I've lived, created, been through and dealt with, I feel responsible to help the young kids that are heading to where I was heading with the same mindset that I used to have, because what I've learned about my journey is that it ain't been worth it, right? Now, I ask myself daily, for what? I risked my liberty every single day of my life for a price I couldn't put my finger on. It was alleged I was stabbing, shooting and killing, right? I went to prison from one day, nearly for life. 36 years recommended was the last sentence that I was facing. But yeah, I'm looking in the mirror calling myself sensible. Sensible, right? Risking my liberty every single day for a price I couldn't put my finger on. Prepared to stab, shoot and kill and go to prison forever. How does that make you sensible? That's the first penny that dropped for me. So now I feel responsible to help the youngsters believe in themselves and believe that they, more than anything, can achieve goals outside of the criminal fraternity and actually become a contributing member to the planet. So with no further ado, we've got Tamer on, and because I know, right? You know, I know, we know people from the planet, we know people from the world. You come from now on an exact replica environment I come from.
Correct.
Right, in a different part of London.
Yep.
Right, so we've all mixed with the same sort of people, we've all mixed with the same sort of mindsets, right? Now, you know people, I know people, you know, and we've grown harmoniously over the last few years into Marvin Herbert being a legitimate contributing member of society.
Amen to that.
And amen to that. Right, so let's go back into your journey, your story and your travels for a little bit. So for the viewers that don't know you or know of you, obviously I don't know if you've done podcasts in the past, I don't know if the viewers know anything about your history in your past or your journey. So if you'd like to go back to where it all started, how you were brought up, what you sort of went through, whatever you want to talk about is not an issue.
Sure.
And the most important fact that I want to focus on once you've told us your story is what made you make that choice to become an actor straight rather than the baddest villain on the planet. Which, no disrespect to anybody, you was on course. You could have been making a couple of choices, either way.
Yeah.
Certain days you could have ended up exactly where I was for years. Do you know what I'm saying? But you made a choice because of a mindset, a programming, and a support network of love and compassion.
Sure.
You know? And that's what I believe it helps a lot of people. Sure. But I'd like to hear a little bit about your job. Do you know what it is? I've learned a lot about people since we've sat and spoke, because obviously we know each other, but it's not knowing each other. We're just, oh, mate, such and such. Oh, yeah, lovely. Do you want a drink? Do you want something?
It was a respect thing.
Yeah, it's all respect.
A hug and a handshake.
Yeah,
and
so
it's
now
like, you know.
I'd like to hear some information that I didn't know about.
Yeah, sure. I mean, first I'd like to say we're all happy that you're here and shocked as much as you are. You're sitting there, and I tell you, you're just at the beginning of your journey, Marv. And when I started, people were looking at me and saying, "What are you doing?" But you got to battle through that. I just want to give you that little bit. You got to battle through it, because when I first started, I had all the boys, all the families looking at me going, because I was a high gun a little bit like yourself. You was way more kamikaze than me. You had your respect in, don't mess about with Marvin. We never had that. It was always, I think it was about the same age, and it was you was doing your thing, I was doing my thing. We had people older than us. Yeah. So we were sort of there, and it'd be like, he's sweet, he's with him, he's sweet, he's with him. But we just kept in our lane, and that was it. But the ag was with other people for us. So, always. And as you know, my lot love you. I know they send their regards, by the way, and they're happy for what you're doing, right?
Love to everyone.
But when I started, and I'll go back to where we was and what we was doing, but I just want to give you this. When I start, and just one more thing. You keep saying about kids, you want to help the kids. There's a lot of older people inside that still need to see your journey and see where you've gone as well. Remember that, do you know what I mean?
But I do. And do you know what?
And this is nothing to do, because I do a lot for kids, but coming from where we come, there's a lot of them behind the door that are looking at you, and they will aspire to you, because they'll go, look at him, look at Tamer, look at him. Yeah, because the kids, we want to stop them from doing what we did. We want to put a stop to it. But there's always that thing where these kids are behind the door looking, thinking, fucking, I'm going to be home in 6 months, I'm going to be home in a year, and if them two fuckers have done it, we still inspire them as well. I just want to put that across there, so this is going to be good for them as well, do you know what I mean?
I'll go into prisons. I'm setting up mentoring programs and training for people coming out of prisons. Yeah. I've just lost a bid.
Mental health is very important.
I was mental for 42 years. I didn't even realise I was insane.
You still are, but you're managing it.
I'm in recovery.
We still are, but we're managing it.
Right. What was I going to say just then?
Go on, you're going to prisons.
And,
you set up mental health stuff.
Yeah, so we go into prison, we help people do everything, and we help them overcome certain things. But the reality is, everyone's got to be accountable for who they are and the choices they make, right? So I was insane.
Be accountable for your
repeating
actions.
the same actions over and over again, expecting a different result. So that's the definition of insanity, right? Now, why you mentioned on going back into the prison and helping the youngsters, not just the kids, but I do help the olders. Brilliant. But I'm putting it out there, right? Because I do believe that the olders, have to take accountability and responsibility for their actions. For their actions, right? Now, I'm only talking from my perspective. So when I was a kid growing up, I used to look for other people that I could use so I would benefit. But we'd all make money, but I'm benefiting, right? They're going to make a little bit of money, but I'm going to make more money. So it was always about who could I use to increase my revenue stream. So I never looked for the weakest, candiest, fluffiest little kid, because he's going to get robbed, he's going to get beaten, he's going to have liberty taken. So I want the hardest, meanest little shit.
You wanted the potentials.
Yeah, the potentials, right? So I'm out there looking like a groomer for these little kids that can help me grow without any consideration to what's going to happen to them. Right now, that's the one thing that I'm focusing on now. Right now,
to stop people like you getting them.
Yeah,
which is a lovely thing.
Right, so now I'm doing. I've done all the youngsters.
You're being accountable for what you're
doing. I'm getting into the youngsters, saying don't follow people like me. Yeah. If someone wants to give you a product and it can get you put in prison, then they don't love you. They don't love you.
Correct.
Right, I've done everything I've done out of love, Tam. Do you know what I mean? I love you. What? You got a problem? Oh, come on then, I'll deal with that. I love you, so I'm going to deal with that. That was my issues growing up as a kid, right? But these kids now are getting paid to do all this sort of stuff, right? But either way you look at it, right? If you love someone, right? And I got shown this quality by Daniel Kinahan, right? I said to him one day, I want to do X, Y, Z. He was like, what are you talking about? You can't do that. I was like, why? He said, you'll end up in prison. I was like, yeah, but this is what we do. He said, no. He said, I love you, you love me. Why would we want to go to prison? Why would we do anything? You know, like, you look at things and you think, well, hold on. People have been asking me to do things forever. No one, because all my older lot that love me say, there's a gun, there's a body, can you do that? There's a gun, there's a lump of money, do you want to do this? There's a car, there's a gun, do you want to do this? Do you understand? Like, And although everybody's got a bad word to say about Daniel Kinahan, he's never ever once in the 15 years, was it 14 years I've known him, 15 years, ever asked me to risk my liberty.
Because he's your mate and he loves you.
Right, so
genuine love.
All these kids that are doing things for the people they love, yeah, they don't love you. Because if they loved you, you would not be in harm's way. Facts. So these are the simple things I'm putting out there. So I'm getting the kids to understand that the elders don't love them. So now what I'm going to be doing in the next 6 months is going into the prisons and getting the elders to be accountable for their grooming.
Nice.
Do you know what I mean? So it's all a strategy that I'm using.
So you're finding a balance between young and old.
Yeah. So I'm going to go in and say, right, listen, chaps, like, we need to stop this with the youngsters. And if we can't find avenues, right, to generate financial revenue stream where our youngsters don't go to prison, then we're failing our youngsters. Yeah. You can't look for avenues where our youngsters are going to prison and say you're a sensible member, because you're not. You're a Fagin. So these are the things that I'm pushing right now. Now, we all come from Second World War, the Blitz, East London, South London. Everyone got through that.
Pandemics.
Yeah, everyone got through that.
Pandemic.
Right, the pandemic come late in life. What I'm talking about is the solidarity between the British people, right, through the racism, through the neglect, through the wars, right? Each section come together and we rallied forward, right? Sure. But what I'm noticing is the criminal fraternity, yeah, isn't rallying together or moving forward.
Times have changed.
It's every dog for himself and every slag can pull a stroke. And now grasses are accepted as a occupational hazard. And, well, he ain't done us no harm. What are you going to do? Like, so the old ethos and...
The old code is gone.
It's gone. Code. It doesn't exist, right? And because it doesn't exist, I'm not in it because it don't exist. I'm not in that world anymore because I actually realised, yeah, that I was not sensible and I was wasting my life and that I was only putting people in prison, hospital, or the morgue. Why would you want to do that? I've said it before on my past podcasts. I wanted to get a kid shot for owing money, right? He owed money for lots of things what he was doing with. And I sent out with a secret device, you know, the encryption device, get this little cunt, find out where he is. I want to know who he is. Boom, 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 boom. Sweet, find out who he is, right, light him up. Because they're getting grub at European prices. Why is he owing me money? He's taking the fucking piss, mate. Do him. Do me a favour, find out, make sure you know who he is first. Obviously, I don't want to do someone's kid or someone's nephew, blah, blah, blah. If he's a nobody, he's a no-mar, right? Come back to my son's best mate. Exactly, that's what I thought, wow, what the fuck? So I can't do this no more. And that was the day in 2015 that I thought, do you know what? I'm not in it no more, I can't be in it. I called him out, I said, you know you owe me money, what are you on about? I said, you know you owe me money, what are you on about? I never said, you know you owe me money. I said, you know the people you owe money to? So I said, you know the people you owe money to? I don't owe no money. No, seriously. You know the people you owe money? I don't owe no money. No, seriously, stop fucking about. I know you owe someone some money and you got a bit of a problem. Unks, I'll take a wicked oath. I don't know another penny. What are you on about? I said, are you sure about that? He said, yeah. Ping, ping. I said, answer your page, mate. He went, what? I said, answer your page. He went, what? I said, answer your fucking page. So he's gone, it's me. How about that? And he's just gone white, yeah? I said, now come on.
You've got a problem, pay
You've got a problem. Now, what I'm going to do for you right now, today, you don't have to pay me that money. You do not have to pay a penny off that debt.
You just don't do it again. Right? You're out of this business.
You're coming off this road today. Right? I'm coming off the road today. That's what I said to him. Young Gotten. I said to him, I'm coming off the road today. Today, right now, we're coming off the road. I'm not doing it no more. Now, you can come with me or I'll sell your debt to my pal. It's up to you. It's up to you. And he said, no, I'll come with you. I said, we're coming. He said, what are we going to do? I said, we're going to go gym for 6 months. Right, so we go gym for 6 months. What happened? He's gone on now to get one of the fastest growing big music organisations in England, and he's got the fastest rising artist in England at the moment. Yeah, young Ambush. He's blowing up in a minute.
Good for him.
I mean, but Ambush come out of jail. I got him walked down to the wireless stage, all sorted out through contacts and people, you know, friends of friends. And they walked him out after he got out of jail, walked him onto the stage, he performed, got his little career going, he's played his part ever since, and he's been doing things right. And now we're just getting the social give back stuff with him, and next year he should be taken off to another level. But we do everything to help the youngsters, right? Because we don't want them to go down our road. You know what I'm saying, Chad? So, I'll kick it back over to you because I feel like I've been talking too long.
No, you're all right, babe. You're all right. It's nice to catch up with you. We don't get to do this too often. But what I was saying to you,
Because you're too busy. Right? Because you're too busy. Don't start that we don't do this, yeah?
Listen,
You're too busy.
I can always
right?
have half a lager with you. So it don't matter where it is.
Yeah.
But I was just going to say to you, just be mindful of this. When I first started, people were like, what are you fucking doing? And I'm like, what do you mean? Because I made a conscious decision, but believe it or not, when my son was born, my son was conceived on my own leave. I chased my missus for 2 years. She said, you fucker, you're a menace. I can't be around you. You're going to break me heart, and I just can't be that fucking, call it gangster's mold. I can't be a villain's wife. So I chased her, and then I got one of the first ones to ever get done to road rage, you know.
Oh, really?
In '91, yeah. It was said that, and I used to have long hair. And
I remember the long hair.
Long hair. I used to have long hair. I used to shave it at the side, and I used to tuck the cap in it when we used to do a bit of football fuggery and whatever. I used to tuck it and flip the cap off. Still wearing caps, flick it up, and the hair used to come down. I used to look like a mixed race. I can't say half caste anymore, can I?
Mixed race, yeah.
Mixed race.
Do you know what? Up until I'd say late '90s, I actually did think you was mixed race.
No, everyone does.
So I see you over the Old Kent Road, and I used to think,
God rest his soul. My father-in-law thought I was a mixed race dreadlock. I come through the door and he weren't too happy.
Do you ever remember Kane Kinch?
Kane Kinch.
From over Old Kent Road, mixed race fella.
Bermondsey?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kane.
I do, yeah. Because we weren't allowed around there.
Yeah.
We weren't allowed around there. But that was my, I forgot my fucking chain of thought now. But that was my thing. I was just saying, when I had a subconscious thing to, because I collect debts, right? When I had a subconscious thing where I can't help it, because I've got my own baby now. My kid was conceived on my own leave. I met my missus, I was with her for a month, then I got a lump of bird. And then I came out, they let me out on a town visit. Boom, before you know it, 20, she's pregnant, kid with a kid. And then I come out and I thought, what am I gonna do? Couldn't put it down because I was snappo. I had to go back to work. And then the minute I looked at him, I think when he got to about 1 and he pulled on my fucking trousers and I looked down at him and I thought, fucking hell. From then I was manifesting the stop. And it was just then what I started doing, I thought, how am I gonna ease out of this? And I started buying nightclubs, restaurants. And anyone would tell you, Tamer was kind of famous before he was famous. Do you know what I mean? Everyone knew Tamer, and I was always fair, and I'd never fucking take a liberty with anyone. If anyone wanted to, I'd always look, I'd come in and let's go. And I'm kind of still like that now. We say we can retire, but you can't.
No, you can't retire
because you just retire from bad stuff.
Yeah.
But because you'll always get a call, Marv, help me out. Do you know what I mean? It don't stop, does it? And you feel obliged because it's just who we are. You'll always go to the funerals. You'll always support who you are, and you are going to get bigger. But my point was, when I find it, I'll go back to it. But when I got out of it, it was like north, east, west, south. I ain't going to say any names because I don't do that, and I won't, but we all know who they are. What the fuck were you doing? My first job was Eastenders. And I actually did it for a fucking giggle. I shit myself because I bought an agency. I invested in an agency, right? And it was like a natural transition. It was like, I never really wanted to be an actor because all the actors I knew were fucking skin, right? So they always just come to my nightclubs, I had Dorotons, Blue Eye, all these places. They'd turn up, I go, oh, I've got a job coming, can I have a bar tab? I'm like, you're a fucking actor. You know? But I soon got it, that if you're a jobbing actor, mate, there's no money. But so I thought, never wanted to be that, fuck that. People just go, be in a movie, because you know I had the ponytail, always smart, slick. Yeah, I was very good looking back in the day. Always had
still handsome, son. Still handsome. I a bit of body fat, but still handsome.
A little bit of timber. A little bit of timber, but that's gonna go. So they always just say, do you want to be in this? Do you want to be in that? I was like, oh, leave me alone. It's hard enough making money what you know. Like, but I bought an agency. I invested in an agency. I thought it was sexy. It's only 25 quid. I was just about to open a restaurant. Blah blah blah. Gone in. And then she went to me, and she's still my manager now. She's now my producer. She went, listen, do us a favour. They need a villain for EastEnders. Like a villain, we ain't got no one on our books. I went like, what do you mean? I ain't fucking handled it. Well, there's no dialogue. You just got to turn up. Put a leather jacket on, you're grizzly, turn up, look like a villain. It was for the Phil Mitchell shooting. Do you remember the Phil Mitchell shooting?
Yeah.
Listen, EastEnders was that big back in the day. They even slowed the Champions League games down for EastEnders and things like that. Do you know what I mean? It was so big. But the Phil Mitchell shooting, everyone, anyone 30 up will remember it. And so I thought, oh, fuck it, I'll go in now. I thought, all right, go on, I've gone in. Gone down to Welsh Street. and I've walked in. And we used to clean gaffs up as well. We used to have security places where if there was a bit of ag somewhere, we'd go in and help them out. Or we'd do the opposite, cause a bit of ag.
Yeah, to get the security.
To get do you see what I'm saying?
It's all part and parcel.
Yeah, it's all part and parcel, and I feel terrible about that, but there was no harm done. But anyway, Julia Crampton, I'm sure I know Julia Crampton, she used to frequent one of the bars. She used to sit at the bar, and we'd gone in and did what we had. So unbeknownst to me, I'll work this out later. So I've walked in, I've got the brown leather jacket, I'm shitting myself, I don't know what to do. And they've gone, oh, can you just do this, do that? And I was like, okay. And then all of a sudden, she said, one minute. She went, could you just wait there a minute? And I've gone, yeah, no problem, sweet. And I'm like, she pulled the director off the fucking set and went, I heard her go, we're not the real deal here. Like, listen, if you'd have seen the fucking casting, it was like a cattle market, mate. If geezers with fucking scars, fucking all the actors trying to be fucking henchmen. And he's gone, can you, do you mind just saying this and saying that in a sort of a London... So I said, yes, sweet. Well, I said, I don't want, just give me a scenario and I'll growl at you if you want. So I've had a growl up there and they've gone, okay, thank you.
Right.
So as I'm coming out of there, she's rung me up and gone, you ain't gonna fucking believe this. They've offered you the fucking job. I went, fuck off, leave me alone. I said, tell them I've got a funeral or something. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it. Like, leave me alone. Do you know what I mean? I've done you a favour, Cam. Leave me alone. Slam the phone down on her. So I've literally come out of L Street. They've shut the fucking door. They've gone, it's yours. So anyway, it's in a month's time. And obviously I got Frank Harper and Craig Fairbrass, and I had the restaurants and that, and they'd come down. I've been offered this job. And he was playing Dan at the time. Craig, he was playing Dan in Eastenders, he was a mate of mine. He said, got any dialogue? I was like, what's fucking dialogue? I don't know. He said, well, sweet. He said, I'll be there. What days you want? I said, He said, I'll take care of you. He said, come and have a laugh. You never know, you might like it. What you got to lose, he went. So I thought, do you know what? He's absolutely right. It's another life experience. I'll go on the set, it's Eastenders, whatever, fuck it.
It's Eastenders, isn't it? And that was a whole prime back then,
mate. Eastenders was the show. Eastenders was the Game of Thrones. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it was massive.
Even I used to watch it.
Right, we all watched it. And then I went in, I did it, and it was embarrassing. People going, I didn't know what Mark was, props, fucking, I literally didn't have a fucking clue. And then I always remember this, and we was doing something, and I had to say, yeah, okay, or something. And then I remember Dan coming over, nudging the director, goes, keep the camera on him. And I'll never forget, he went, could see him, he said, that fucker's gonna nick all our work one day. But it was a throwaway thing, and how fucking true was it? You know, it kind of went, because then I did this, and I thought, hang on. I went, they pick me up in a chauffeur car, they take me, I'll sit in an hotel, I'll go on set, put a bit of fucking anti-shine on, feed me, dress me, I'll go on, do a bit of what I'm doing, and they take me back to take me out, and they fucking pay me at the end of it.
Yeah. How bad?
How bad's that? How bad I get paid?
And here we are today, look.
And then it was kind of that transition where I thought, this is going to get me out of it, because because I stopped all the bollocks and I thought, I was very smart. See the others, I never gambled, I weren't a fucking massive boozer, I weren't a massive fucking junkie. I was always holding on to my dough, throwing bits in, and I thought, I bought a club, I bought this, I bought that. We was nicking 20 bits off the door just on the fucking... Do you know what I mean? It was just great, you know what I mean? But it still wasn't out, I still weren't out. Yeah. Because there was always there, people getting fucking shot. He turns up at the door, no, he's in here, you can't come in. And then they're on you, and then it's just, I don't know if you ever run a club, Mark. But you've been in them. You've been well, people like Mark turns up at the door, and Tam, I'm coming in. Well, you can't, because one of your enemies is in there. And I had a rule. Whoever's here first, and I got there in the end, I said, whoever's here first, that's it, because I love all of you, and I'm not getting in this, right? So it got to the point after about a year, if you turn up, you go, he's here, and I go, he's here, you go, oh, cunt. And you just walk, because it got all right, because at the start, it was like, a lunatic like you would come up and go, sorry? Oh, did you talk to me? No, a lunatic like you would come at the door, and I'd go, listen, he's in here. You're having a bag with Johnny, Johnny's in here. But you would go, I couldn't give a fuck. I couldn't give a fuck. You're sweet, Tam, but you see all these cunts, they're going to have it. Yes or no?
Yeah.
You're sweet, but you see all these German, Russian mugs on the door. They're having it. Get him out here. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I've got you to a T, you know.
Yeah.
You're sweet, but they're all having it. How do you want to be?
Yeah.
Or if I ain't coming in, he's got to go as well.
Yeah.
You'd have to have your way.
The only thing that I would have said is, if I'm not coming in, he's got to come out.
That's what I just tell you.
He's got to come
I
out,
just
mate.
said that too. You've got to have your way.
Yeah.
But then that's my point. You can never get away with it. It's all right to it, and all of a sudden it all goes, fucking hell. I'm like, oh, here we go. So you,
Famous last words.
and then it's that. Get them fucking tapes out. It's already done. Fuck off. Leave me alone, you jills. Do you know what I mean? Go away. You're done. Do you see what I'm saying? So then we're switching tapes because I had the tapes. The tapes, because it was old VHS, so I had the tape for you, Mob, and a tape for fucking Normal. So I go, quick, get rid of that, put that in. Do you know what I mean? We had it locked off.
Yeah.
Like you said years ago, the word grass,
It was all...
it was like nonce.
Now it's kind of all right. They accept it like...
I'll tell you why it's all right.
weird.
Because it's easy for someone to say he's a grass. It's that commonly spoke about, he's a grass. It's kind of worked in. If you heard the word grass, it'd be like, who's a fuck? What are you talking about? Yeah. But it's so commonly said now, and I'll tell you why it's commonly said, what I believe, is because calling someone a grass, getting someone to do your dirty work. Watch him, he's a grass. He's a what? So 9 times out of 10, you've been called a grass, he's been called a grass, but whatever. I go, hang on, how is he a grass? It's been women. I had it, I kid you not, I swear, I had it 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I had it 2 weeks ago. I'm sitting, this kid, we're doing bits, he's a straight goer. Never done a day's villain in his life. Watch him, you know. He's a fucking... How? Who's he going to grass up? I won't say what he does because people only know it. But I'm like, how?
So moving steadily on, we spoke about your cameo in your acting, bit of mindset, where you're from, bit of environment. Was you ever involved in boxing?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was involved in boxing. I started boxing with at a place in New Cross where I grew up, where my mum still is, down in New Cross, still there. At a place, an old church called All Saints Church, and Ginger May, lovely character, fathered me for a long time, was a father figure for me. I started at the age of 7. Growing up, I was a little fat, pure white. I was as white as a sheep, believe it or not, right? Little fat kid with loads of hair that used to get bullied the life out of. Plenty of art, just didn't have the power or the strength to beat anyone because I was so tiny. Yeah. And then as I started getting a bit older, I was just rebellious at school, and I kept getting expelled and smashing people and running, and just a little fucking rebel. And then my mum took me to judo, didn't work. Took me karate, didn't work. And then she was mates with a fella called Ginger May, and she went, Ginger, take him, for fuck's sake, do so with him. And she went, yeah, sweet. And at the time, my brother, no, I wasn't 7, sorry, I was 9. And my brother, at the time, he used to bully the shit out of me, right? Like, beat the shit out, like, badly beat me, right? And she'd give us both we both went to the gym, and we used to have these square, we didn't have no rings or nothing, there was no money there. We used to put the old, the what are they called, the church benches in a thing.
In a square,
in a square, and we used to use that, and then they had this, he came and he said, come on, son, he said, your mum said we've got to take care of you and toughen you up a little bit, boy, like this. Oh, well, I'm tough enough as it is. Like, I still had that attitude. I went, no problem. So I said, let's see what you got about you. But we had this still, I'll never forget it. There was this exercise we used to do where you'd get in the ring and you'd spar, but you weren't allowed to hit the head. Just body punches, body shots and all that. But if you do hit someone in the face, but they get a free shot. Not the shot that they got standing you can hit, but you can move around and pick a shot. Do you know what I mean? Try and catch him. He's put me and my brother, innit? Oh. So he's put me with my brother, and my brother just went in on me, mate. Crash, hit me straight in the face, crash, straight around the back of it. Ginger went, oi, 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 oi. Don't you know the rules? He went, what's the rules? He went, you can't hit the head. So he's gone, all right. He said, sweet. As he said, right, come on in, box, crash straight in the fucking face again. I said, come, my big brother, straight. So he said, right, he said, I'll tell you what, he said, you ain't allowed to hit him. You got to now defend, big brother. He said, you got 3 shots. I said, I only need 1. I remember it like it was yesterday. And I'm moving around him, and I fucking see an opening. And you've got to remember, you're talking about 9 years of fucking abuse. I remember like this opening, I went straight, the energy came from my feet, through my body, and I hit him so fucking hard, right? It shattered his nose.
Oh, really?
A kid, shattered, my nose been broke, God knows how many times up to now, but shattered his nose to that. And he fucking fell back, he started bleeding, and he's got up to fucking kill me, and Ginger jumped in, he went, "You can stay, you got to go home, boxing's not for you." Boxing's not for you. Like
Oh.
And he went, and we never spoke about it again. To this day, my brother's nearly 60, still got problems with his nose.
Yeah.
Still can't breathe through his nose. And I went 10, I was undefeated as a boxer, and I went 10 in. I said to Ginger, he really paid a lot of attention to me. Like I started off as a southpaw, and I weren't a natural southpaw, and then he's changed me, and he really took, and I always thought it was because he's my mum's mate, and he felt obliged, and he had 3 great sons that were boxers as well. After about 10, I said, "What are you hanging on to me for?" I said, "Do you love me that much?" He said, "Not really." He said, "You know, a bit of fucking headache." He said, "But anyone that do that to his own flesh and blood, I feel sorry for anyone else." And that fucking how right he was, and God rest his soul, he passed away. But I was, my dreams were always to be a professional footballer or a boxer. And I remember I used to go out I was a Millwall supporter, because I'm a great believer, support your local clubs. You know what I mean? You've got all these Cockney Reds and all that. I don't agree with it. Unless some of them, you know, their dads from up there, but whatever. So I was a Millwall supporter all my life. I used to go up with the Jew boys because we couldn't afford to get in after first watch the game. And I always used to get in the terraces, and it used to fascinate me that people would scream for you. Yeah. So I've always had this sort of leadership, wanting to be a somebody. From when I was a kid. I was always manifesting being a somebody. Now, whether that meant being a villain, respected, or being a pro footballer, or being there was always something there. And I remember my mum always used to say to me, "You're special, you know." And there was always that. I never couldn't hold a job down.
Why do you think you never got into football?
I weren't good enough. I'll tell you why I weren't good enough, because I got a scholarship and went to Haberdashers. I was bright as a kid, and I opened the doors. I went to Haberdashers' house. I got a scholarship, which was unheard of, and I got a really good result.
A scholarship in what?
In English. The scholarship is I did well in English, maths, and it was art. I think it was. No, it was my writing. And when you had to hit a certain criteria, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. Remember when you was a kid level?
Yeah.
And I think it was I can't remember, it was 1, but I had 1 down for me to get a scholarship, and then they looked at my writing. I had great writing, so I used to write with a felt tip, with a ink pen, with a flat nib, and I used to scroll like I used to have, and they went, "You're in." But the school never did any football. It was rugby, cricket, and athletics, so there was no football. Right. So I never got, because football's a sport you keep playing, you get better and better. Yeah. So but I did end up playing semi-pro football when I came out of school, and I started getting good at that. I was very good at rugby, but then boxing was my thing, because growing up as well, we used to get bullied and racially bullied as kids, because there was only us, the Irish and the West Indians. You know what I mean? There wasn't a lot of the Indians sort of came in, but it wasn't as multicultural as it is now.
What's your most memorable moment in boxing? In your boxing? There must have been a memorable moment.
The first one was my brother.
Apart from
that, I think his name was Tony Cook, and my bouts wouldn't turn up. Do you know what I mean? When it was hard to match me, I was 6'2". I was like a racehorse. I was under 11 stone.
Because I didn't realise how tall you was, you know.
No, a lot of people don't, you know. Yeah. But I got to that. I got bullied, but I shot up at 16. And then I turned into a menace. Like everyone who was having me, I just went round the estate just beating the shit out of them.
It's mad that you said that, right? Because exactly the same thing happened to me. I was small until I was 17.
Right.
I come out of Warren Hill.
16, mate. Yeah.
Warren Hill prison. Just finished my first 12-month sentence, right?
That was a big bird in Warren Hill.
Big bird back then.
Listen, I got 6 weeks, and like that was like the whole 6 weeks holiday. I'm like, fucking.
I've done 10 months out of that 12 months, right?
Anyway, that's a big bird.
When I've gone away, yeah, because as a kid, there was a big bird, right? As a kid, yeah.
Like it's 3 months,
10 months, right? I've come out,
weeks.
and what's this, right? I'm coming out, and I thought, fuck me, that floor seems far away, and everything's just sent far away. I never realised something until I got home.
Robot,
well, I got home, and my mum's there. My mum, I'm like, rah, I'm 6 foot, what the fuck? And all my mates are smaller than me. I was like, rah, I've grown so much in prison. In 10 months, I was shot up.
Shut up. My mum sent me to Cyprus.
Yeah.
Sent me to the village in Cyprus, Constance and Menace. She went, you're going to your uncle. It's a bit like fucking Prince of Bel-Air, but except for I weren't in Bel-Air, I was in a village. You're going to your uncle, I've had enough of you. Yeah. Went there, a little short fat Turk with a basin haircut, loads of hair, come back 6 foot, like a fucking racehorse. I went straight to the adventure playground and just ate them all, mate. Playing table, took the bats off and like, started whacking them with the took him in the toilet, completely terrorised the whole fucking place. Yeah. Plus I was boxing as well, do you know what I mean? And I was fit and I was fucking, but I was short, and then all of a sudden, got up, and then it all just fell into place brilliantly. Never got put again.
All the similarities of falling, because when I was 17, I found out then, how do you describe this? That I could take a beating, right? So I'm in jail, the bell's gone. I've clumped, obviously you don't realise when you first go to prison. The first time I'm in prison, I didn't realise that once you punch a prison officer, the bell goes and 40 officers come.
Thumbs up the back.
I never knew that. Yeah. So what's happening? I'm in the shower.
The back, mate, hurts, mate.
I'm in the shower, yeah. I'm in the shower, having a shower, everything. I walked in the shower and there's a kid in the shower that I want. Yeah? So I walked in, I said, I said, how long are you going to be in the shower, mate?
Was it dormitories? Dorms?
No, it wasn't. It was just single and doubles at the time. So as I walked in, I said, how long are you going to be in the shower, mate? Watch him. He went, about half an hour. So instantly I went, yeah? All right, sweet, mate. And I thought, yeah, take my gear off. Got my gear off, got my boxer shorts on. So I walked over. I said, mate, you need to do what? He said, what's that? I said, you need to get out, mate. He was like, what are you on about? I said, half an hour for a fucking shower, you little cunt. Get out of the shower. And he said something to me, so I just hit him, grabbed him, headbutted him, threw him out of the shower. With that, he scrambled out and run out to the screw, told the screw what's gone on. So the screw's coming to the shower room, right? So I'm in the shower and screw's coming. He's gone, right, Herbert, out. I said, for what? He said, out. I said, for what? For what? He said, Herbert. Nah, slogan. So I went, for what?
Like you've done nothing wrong. Like, what are you talking about? For what?
And he's gone, you just attacked. So I said, no, I never. I said, what it? No. He said, no, you're a fucking bully. Now, this is the shower. He wants his shower. Get out of the shower. I said, I wind your neck in, mate, yeah? Because obviously, I'm just fresh off the road. I'm just, like, from the street. I wind your neck in, you fucking idiot. And he's come out and I don't know what part of me he grabbed, right? But I remember him grabbing me. And I thought, I'm naked, you fucking nonce. So I've turned around, I've hit the screw, With that, he sort of scrambled hit the deck and he's run out. So he's run out and I thought, I better get dressed now. So I'm getting dressed, not realising I've heard the wee, wee, wee. I thought, what the fuck's that? So I thought, I better get dressed. As I'm getting dressed, like in Feltham, as you walk in the shower room, the door opens, but behind the door, there's 2 baths, right? And the bath's got a little bit of a pathway between it. So once the door opens, you can't get in between the baths. So I'm in between the baths getting dressed. So as the bell's gone off, all the screws are coming. They're trying to come in.
It's horrible, isn't it?
But they can't get to me. They can't get to me because the bloody door's backed up against the thing. But anyway, cut a very long story short.
It's just the running it.
They got me out. Now, I'm having it. They've split my eyes open, my nose is bleeding. I'm going nuts now. They're going nuts. But then they've got me outside. When we were outside, yeah, they're punching and kicking me. They call it the M1 in Feltham. Punching and kicking me all the way out the corridor to the block, M1, right? Yeah. But when I got to the block...
Did they have you cleaning it as well?
And no, they bent me up. And then
thumbs up the back.
To me, yeah, they never hurt me as bad as they should have done. I thought, I ain't even... These are fucking mugs, mate. So as they've let me go and then all run out of the cell, I've jumped back up, you fucking mugs. Back on the door. You know, I open the door, come back and have it. So anyway, from that day, I thought, these are the mugs, mate. So the next morning when I opened my door, it's kicked off again. So then when I got out from that sentence, I had a mad mindset that not one person can do to me. I've just done fucking 20
screws, yeah.
What's a kid going to do to me? So that gave me that confidence when I got out when I was 17 to go into the criminal fraternity like a madman. Do you know what I mean? Anyway.
And that's what kicked you into it, yeah.
Oh, mate. So you, yeah, I always drag you away from you.
No,
sorry,
you're sweet, mate. Don't worry. Listen.
Yeah.
Do your thing. This is your show, baby. This is your show.
So you got into the boxing?
Got into the boxing. Came out of boxing. Well, as I was saying before, I always wanted to be a pro footballer and a boxer. Pro football didn't work because I didn't play enough and I wasn't good enough, and I knew that at a young age. And my son was great here, and I'm honest enough to know if I'm not good at something, I'll let it go. I'm not a dreamer. Do you know what I mean? I know my boundaries and I know what my strengths and my weaknesses are. But I thought boxing was the one. I got a detached retina. Detached, yeah.
Fuming.
Yeah, fuming, mate, fuming, and it just didn't happen. But look, the nose, it's probably like yours. The nose is fucking.
I'll tell you what, though, right?
But it's all right. Don't look too bad.
You still look handsome, son.
The hands went a little bit, but do you know what? For me.
It wasn't meant to happen. I'll tell you why.
I'm glad.
No, it wasn't meant.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm so happy.
Because I've still got my retina in this eye, and I've got shine it.
Can I have it?
I'll rent it, yeah.
I'll rent it.
I'll rent it, yeah. Lease it. The papers like lease
I'll
it.
take up 1,000 year lease.
Yeah, lease me retina.
No, I am so overwhelmed at not doing it because you're right. Let me tell you something. The pro game, I used to have. I gave a boxing club a home. I had Greenwich Borough Football Club. I do a lot for the community. Elton Boxing Club was Henry Cooper's club, and they didn't have an home, so I put them up there with Elton Warriors. I built a gym for them upstairs in my football club in Elton, so they was there, and I started doing some training. I still like training people. I'm a great pad man. You know what I mean? I like training people, and I still do a little bit at home. But the pro game, mate.
Next level. People just don't understand.
Oh, you got to go to fucking hell and back. Oh, mate. And listen, I know the show. You cheat in the ring, you cheat in the gym, you lose in the ring. Yeah. It's tough, but that pro game, that's when you start getting out. I sparred a pro. We used to go when we was kids. We used to go down to the Thomas of Becket in the morning. You did a bit yourself.
I love boxing.
So we used to go there in the morning to spar do light sparring with the pros, because we got to a level where we was getting good and blah, blah. And, mate, I got him with a little light featherweight pro, because what they used to put us in with the heavyweights for power, and then they put us in with the little lightweights for speed, right, for agility and speed. Mate, it was just horrible, Marv. I just didn't like it. The pain just stayed when them pros hit you.
Different.
It just stays there, and you can't. It just stays in you, doesn't it? And you can't. Like you're amateurs, and you move around. You can fuck about, slap them. You're in your zone. And I was very good, like my quick hands, and I had a lot of ability. I was like I could show, but I could do it all. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Even now, you see me on a speedball. I've still got that fucking ability to do stuff. Mate, I got it. Do you know, you kind of go like that and it stays. And it's just, you know what I mean? It's just
what I was explaining to the youngsters now, right?
I'm glad I didn't turn pro, because I wouldn't have got through it.
Because what they don't understand is how tough your body has to be for that pro level. Right? You might have all the skills in the world, mate. You might have all the heart in the world, mate. You might have all the brains in the world. But if your body is not tough with density, so dense muscles, not anabolic muscles, density, that's what creates toughness. Right? And I'm living proof for that. And I keep saying it to everyone, because I go to all the gyms and I spar all the pros, and it's because of my people say, how does he do it? How does he do it? Because I'm not hard. I'm just tough, and it just bounces off.
Like you keep hitting your fucking bones, you kill the nerves on it. You know, you see these people fucking hitting bricks and breaking them pebbles and doing all this stuff. Have you seen them? How do you break a pebble? Them pebbles, the hard things on. But you get someone over here and you kill him. Do you know what I mean? They're sitting and they go like that. They just go like that, boom, it just breaks now. And I'm like, what are we doing, man? Do you know what I mean? It's just fascinating what a human body can fucking do. But you're right, with that, you got, and listen, talking about boxing, for me, Tyson Fury is the perfect boxer. Like, Frank Bruno was the most non-perfect heavyweight ever, because he's zero body fat. I mean, you talk about zero body fat. I mean, you start doing that, right? What happens? It tightens up after a while. That's what his body does. Look at Tyson. He's got fat. He can absorb the punches. Tucker back in the day, all those heavyweights back in the day, they all had an inch of fat on them. Do you remember? And that would absorb the punches for them. But like with you're saying, you're right. Bruce Lee would kill all the nerves in his bones. So each sport is different to what you need it to be for your body. Do you know what I mean? Impact control, yeah, correct.
Crazy. Correct. So do you think you benefited from the acting world, from boxing, like the...
Yeah. I think with what I did, I played a lot of rugby, played a lot of football. I was always a sportsman, always wanted to be great in sport. And I do a lot of fight coordinating now. I'm good with a fight coordinator.
Oh, really?
I did a film called Eastern Promises, and I helped coordinate a phenomenal fight scene that is now a degree at Guildhall. It's a Russian movie. You should watch it. The fight scene is spectacular. Me and Viggo Mortensen, he's naked in a steam room. Horrific it is. So all this, because as you know, I race cars and I'm a car mad. So anywhere I can do stunts, Marv, I'll do it.
Yeah. So you like doing all your own stunts?
I can't stand. I do my own fights. Listen, if I've got to go through a window, strap me up. I'll go through the window.
Yeah, I like all that.
As long as I'm fit and able, I'll do it. So it has helped because the first film I ever got was for working title with Orlando Bloom, Billy Piper, Ralph Spall, stellar cast. It was. They've all gone on like this to be, really successful actors. It was called The Calcium Kid. It was a comedy, black comedy for working title with Orlando Bloom.
So how many movies you've done in total now?
I think I've got about 60 titles now, Yeah.
What's your favourite movie?
They all got something a bit special, but I enjoyed the business, mate.
No, I'm glad you said that one. I'm glad you said that one.
It is. I enjoyed. Listen, 3 months in Marbella with me and Dyer, fucking.
You know what? It made.
It was fantastic, and we got it right. Nick Love got it right. I think he's.
What's your worst experience on a set? There's one.
I fucking got concussion really badly on a set. Again, doing my own stunts. I did a horror film in New Zealand called The Ferryman, and my dying scene was I had to go back, and as I went backwards, the stuntman was underneath, and he said, "Do not fall that way because there's." The boat was built in a equestrian centre, and they dug a hole, and he said there's metal rods, beams on that side. So make sure when you fall back, fall this side, not that side. But in the fucking moment, you got it in there. I've gone backwards. I'm sorry, mate. I've gone backwards. And, mate, I don't remember nothing else. I don't remember nothing. I woke up, I think, 2 days later. I don't remember nothing. But if he weren't there, mate, I'd have been gone. Really? But he wasn't. I remember going back, and then I remember the pub, and then that was it. And then I woke up, neck was gone. I was walking around like that for about 4 days. You know what I mean? That and the hardest job I've ever had is the Football Factory, mate.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. That last fucking fight scene was brilliantly shot. It was so much fun, but mate, I wish Nurofen would have sponsored the film.
Yeah. The
headache, mate, it was fucking over and over again.
Why was it headache?
Because you get the energy up now. You'll know this yourself because. Eventually, you.
The Football Factory, all the right.
Because they got to do it again. Coming out the tunnel, coming out fucking like that, 10 times, 13 times. You got to just keep going, and then they pick it up, because you got to keep doing it again. A director's fucking favourite words of Tamer, that was fucking phenomenal. Best scene I've ever directed. Can you do it again?
Why do they do that?
Do it again. It's just a movie making process, mate. You know what? He's got to cover his ass. He's got to cover his ass because he gets different angles. He's got to cover his ass. But if a film's a big budget, they can get 4 cameras up and get it in one. But you're talking about low budget $1 million movies. It's difficult. So you just got to work with them.
So what's the most challenging part you've ever played?
One of the difficult parts were it wasn't a big role, and it wasn't substantial, but it was in the biggest show ever created called Game of Thrones. I'm sure everyone knows.
Okay, yeah.
I played a Dothraki. It wasn't huge. It was in season 6.
Oh, that's
the Dothraki warriors with that lad with the big beard. You would have never recognised me, but
the dragon
princess.
Yeah.
And what a beautiful actress she is. But learning that dialogue was horrendous, mate. It was so difficult because it was a made-up dialogue, and. Can I say the word cunt?
Yeah.
Because it was in there. Like a Dothraki in some fantasy fucking medieval TV show says the C word. But you got to remember, it's the biggest show on the planet, right? And the fans are so avid that if you get it wrong, they'll find you out. You're done. You're done. They'll annihilate you. And the pressure of that is fucking... It's outstanding. There was another. We spoke about Cass earlier. Our friend Cass. I did his film. I played Tony B in his film, and that was a little bit of pressure on that because we all know Tony, right? Tony's lovely. I went and visited him in jail, and he requested me to play him, as you've done yourself, you know, like. And I do play. I mimic people brilliantly. It doesn't matter who it is. I'll get it right. As you know, I played a lot of true life characters, and I morph into them characters. But when you're dealing with someone like Tony B, and you've got the family at the monitor, you've got to get it right, ain't you? Because you're honouring the man, and he's still alive. And then you've got the wife and the kids, and you're like, and they're looking, and you kind of put your head around, oh, right, like, oh, it's just like my dad. And I'm like, thank fuck for that. And then as I'm walking up there, because, you know, I was what I was in the past, but I still respect peers and people that have done more than me in the criminal fraternity, and I know who's what and what's who, and I know how to still show my respect and still be a gentleman. Do you know what I mean? With people that are still there, and you know what I mean? I still hold my fucking dignity. I still hold my respect for people, and I'm now when I moved into the acting game, I've kind of stepped back for it because nobody knew what I did for many years. I kept it quiet. I mean, you got to declare. You ain't saying fucking nothing. Keep your fucking mouth shut because you're going to kill me before I've even started. So it was that whole. I went 10, 15 years in before anyone knew I'd been to jail, or I'd been to this, or I'd been to that. Do you see what I'm saying? So I kept it in. I told my whole team, shut your mouth, but it's going to come out. When it comes out, it comes out. Until then, you don't say a fucking word. I am a fucking actor. That's it.
Excellent.
And we got there. And it was quite fun. I was walking down the red carpet, and they were up for the premiere of Cash. And they said, oh, I know you can't say the name, or doing the press, but I know you can't say the name because we called him a different name in the film. I know you can't say the name. And he was right next to me. I think that matter for a day release. Right? And he's just up there. And they said, how do you think you did playing the man you was meant to be playing? I said, well, hang about. I said, because he's just up there, right? I said, if I get out the cinema, right, I've done a good job. If I don't, it's the last interview I'm ever going to do. So I use that. I use our fraternity to make it jovial, so it isn't as portrayed as bad as what it is. Because you know, when you talk about Marvin, right? Marvin, it's like, but you're open about it, and it's great because you've started off doing what you're doing and showing who you are to help. Me, I went in as a liar. Do you see what? I went in as someone, and I found out I was very good at it. Do you know what? I was very fucking good at it.
Lying or acting?
Acting. We lie for a living, don't we? People say, what do you do for a living? I go, I'm an actor, so I lie. I lie for a living. What do you mean? Well, I'm an actor. Because we be other people. But on the thing, what you're saying is, for you, I didn't get it to get to it, but for you, people are going to be saying to you, what are you fucking doing? You did. No, what are you, a grass? What are you this? What are you that? What are you talking about our business for?
I had it. I had it.
Because I had it. People know what you're doing, and all of a sudden, them lot over there and them lot over there, I'm sitting in one of their clubs, and they went, fucking like that film Layer Cake, you know? And I'm going, right? And they go, you know, I'm good at that, you know? And I go, yeah. And then watch what comes next. Can we put any dough in? Yeah. So at the start of it, I was cleaning. Do you understand what I'm saying? People going, so I had to work it out because you can't go away. You can't fucking retire. It doesn't matter what you do. Your past can always come and get you. So you still got to be on your fucking toes.
It will always. Your karma will always come after you.
Don't get too comfortable. Freddie Foreman, love Freddie, my old mate. You know, Freddie came back with a conscience, didn't he, on the tarmac? I'm sorry. What are you sorry for, mate? X, Y, and Z. Get in.
Yeah. Too Luke.
Do you see what I'm saying there? Do you know? And I remember watching it on the news going, oh, no, why have you done that, Fred? Do you know what I mean? And I love Freddie. Yeah. Oh, Freddie's my
all the time.
I love him, mate. And he, you know, I could call Fred and all the old boys are still, do you need anything? Do you want anything? Do you know what I mean? All of them. I'll be at every one of their funerals. I'll still walk in a boozer. I haven't changed as a person, Marv.
Yeah, that's a good thing. That's the best thing.
But you want to talk about the business, didn't you?
Yeah.
Go on then.
So I'll keep getting asked about the business, right? Because people ask me if you played my role in the business. So we can clear it up, right? Yeah. Because obviously keep asking me because they obviously don't know your history. They don't know.
Because we're two good-looking fellas, mate. Two playboys. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. No, what it is because
they don't know my history.
Yeah. So it's not me personally. It's just our characters of a former life we used to lead. And that's how simple. Is that a fair way of...
Listen, it's a fair comment.
Yeah.
It's fair cop, do you know what I mean? Yeah. Where people can resemble Charlie the Playboy, not Tamer Hassan, but Charlie the Playboy. I think more Tamer Hassan is more you. We're both, you know what I mean, as in real life.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying.
We're both mixed race, and I look mixed race, and we both got that thing. I was never anywhere. And thank fuck, I was never anywhere where you, around what you did and where you was. Mine was a little bit more tame,
a bit more conservative.
A bit more conservative. But I think Charlie could have been Marvin quite easily, because Marvin loved a bird, Marvin loved a good time, Marvin loved a fucking gun, Marvin loved a blag. Everything within Charlie, the Playboy, right? Charlie Love was his name. Marvin resembles. Good-looking fella, knows his way about, got the birds on him, loves clubs. So I'm not surprised that people will say, Marv, you remind me of that character.
Yeah.
Not Tamer Hassan, but that character. And yes, it could easily have been you, mate.
Madness, isn't it?
And that's the bottom line. It could have been.
So what's Tamer got coming up in the future now? What have we got going on?
Tamer's got quite a few other things going on at the moment. But since COVID, I was meant to be playing a wonderful character. You've had some fun at his hotel, Pikes.
Lovely.
You've been probably dinged out of there. I know the story.
I've got a lifetime ban
for flooding the gap and blaming someone else. I've got to say that I think when you're you, it must be difficult to get away with anything, because even if you ain't done it, you can't say, I ain't done it. They go, bollocks, it was you.
It was me. It was
because you're such a menace.
I'll just say, how much was it?
Yeah, what do I owe? Who am I sending flowers to?
How much did that one come to? I ain't paying that. Fuck that.
Stick down the X's, right? So I'm playing him in his life story. Irving Welsh is penning the script. It was meant to go last year, but COVID and the pandemic hit, so we couldn't do it. And, which you're going to be really happy about, I've written a film very similar to The Business.
Okay, lovely.
Very similar. It's never going to be a sequel, because that's Nick Love's baby. Wow. And I think it's amazing. I don't think you should mess about with it.
Well, I think me and you should sit down and write a movie.
I think so.
I really do.
So. But I'm thinking...
Burn it here first.
I'm thinking, where's these cameras over there, isn't it? Yeah. Is that mine?
That's yours.
That's mine. So I got told that I should play Marvin in his life story. Have a poll. What do you think? Should I do it or not? Or will I get in trouble? I won't get ironed out, will I?
I'll get in trouble for that. Yeah, you'll be good. Right, so we're coming to another end of another fabulous episode, and I just wish we had more time.
We'll do it again.
Yeah, we'll do it again.
We'll do it again.
Part 2 coming up very soon.
We'll do it again.
Tamer Hassan, Marvin Herbert, Nothing But the Truth. Follow, subscribe, comment, all the social media stuff. Follow us on Yanga TV.
I want to tell them about, before you go, I want to tell them about just quickly about...
You got a couple of charities, yeah? You got a couple of charities you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, I just want to give a shout out to... we're ambassadors of mental health, me and Marvin, as you know. I've been pioneering for it for many, many years, and we've got 2 amazing charities. One's called Mind Soldiers, and the other one's called Mindspace 24/7. We have helplines. You can go on, follow them on Instagram and Twitter, and there's helplines there, and we'll always reply to you, and we're there for you 24/7. So anyone who needs any help with their mental health issues, we're there for you.
Actually, time out. That's Marvin Herbert, Tamer Hassan on another episode of Nothing But the Truth with Marvin Herbert. Finally, what I'd like to ask is, I've been asked and requested to get Daniel Kinahan on my show as an upcoming guest. I'm going to do a poll, so I'd like to know how many people would like to see me interview Daniel Kinahan on Nothing But the Truth.
Yes, yeah, get him on.
Because it's just...
get him on.
Yeah, something that needs to be done, something I'd love to do, and something I think everybody should hear. God bless, stay safe, stay focused, stay positive. Nothing But the Truth with Marvin Herbert.